the Juda Lady Panthers, Curt Brown. And Curt, first of all, welcome in, and second of all, congratulations. A very spirited effort by your group tonight. Got down early, didn't flinch, got back into it, held a lead at one point, and then also put pressure on, deep in the fourth quarter. Let's start first with the start. You overcame that, and you had to do some things. You were doing a good enough job defensively, but offensively, you had to get something going. It was again tough, to get the ball inside to Ellen. But credit to your kids, a lot of other girls stepped up tonight.
I really think that was a challenge this week. We had a tough game Tuesday against a good Monticello squad, and I think the other girls really took the challenge to step up. We know when we play that Ellen will receive 1, 2, 3 players. And, Jessica Rocco really stepped up. Courtney Moisen off the bench hit a nice 3. Caitlin DeVoe, nice job moving the ball around. And CJ Dunwoody also stepped up and really showed why she's an all-conference player as well. But, yeah, the lid was just on the basket there in the first quarter. And that was, you get down, 5, 6 points here, and you got to use a timeout. And I used a couple early. I don't really like to, but you can't let it get a lot here. And I was really proud of the way we fought back tonight.
Well, the thing I thought you did well to get back into it was defensively limited them to 1 shot per possession, 1 and done. A lot of girls crashing the boards hard, not just Ellen. And you could tell they knew that they were forcing Barneveld into tough shots, and they rewarded themselves by getting the ball right away after the miss.
Absolutely. I think when we watched film this week, and that's the benefit of playing somebody 2 times, they shot lights out the first game against us, and I felt like one of the things we worked on this week was 1-shot opportunities. We didn't want numerous times. When we watched the film back, we were almost sick to our stomachs with them getting 4, 5, 6 opportunities at basket. And at halftime we talked, hey, when we're coming out hard and closing out hard on these shots from the outside, which they're going to get against the zone, they're on their heels a little bit, they're a little bit short, and we can get the boards and then hopefully get off the floor and try to improve on offense a little.
Well, and you did that in the second quarter, got some, like I said, got some stops, got back into the game, tied it there at one point. They scored the final 5 to get the edge at half. And then in the third quarter was kind of shades of the first quarter all over again, the lid kind of on the basket. CJ's three-pointer was huge because it took a slow start and didn't make it seem so bad. But and you had to fight just to stay in that game in the third quarter. And I guess what happened there, and anything they did defensively to kind of make life a little more difficult?
Some of the same things. I think Jim does a nice job of disguising some of his defensive schemes, and it might take us a possession to know what we want to do. A lot of times against teams, I'm very lucky with CJ to have the ball and know what we want to do offensively. He has such a well-coached team that it becomes difficult. And so maybe we're off catch a little bit. I think maybe a couple times we're a little quick with the trigger there in the third quarter. I can remember a couple. But for the most part, I felt like we wanted to move the tempo a little bit, especially with our press, so they couldn't really sink in too much. It felt up and down, not breakneck speed, but a little bit quicker than usual was a little bit better for us.
Fourth quarter, you get back into it, 1-point game kind of seesawing there. They get the big 3 from Kanoy to go up 4, but then Dunwoody and Rocco, I thought, really saw each other well tonight, and Rocco hit Dunwoody for the big backdoor pass, 30-28, and then the well went dry again. They got a couple baskets. At that point, 30-28, what are you looking for there? And they got, again, some other girls to step up.
I really felt like if we could have gotten one more stop, we had the momentum, and that was kind of key. We didn't capitalize on that. We started to get a little bit of a run there. We didn't capitalize when we needed to defensively there. And it got back to 4 or 6, and then we know you got to start fouling, and that's kind of a common theme with Barneveld.
A lot of coaches glad to see your senior here, end of 4 years. I think on the flip side,
not me,
not you,
no,
not you.
No.
But on the flip side, they've got a girl who's emerging as a freshman, who you're going to see for a long time to come. Rachel Slaney really took over the game in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, she's, I said this before, but we game planned based off last year for this year, and the freshman steps in and does a great job, and she had over 20 the first time, and so this time we game planned for all 3, and she still got 17. And I told her a great game afterwards that, they do a great job of developing athletes here and basketball players, and I have all the respect, and I wish them the best.
Well, they've got the big game against Blackhawk. You've played them, and this will be Barneveld's long-awaited first crack at them.
Absolutely.
How do you see that game going on Saturday, Curt?
It's going to be physical. I think we found that out playing Blackhawk. It's a very physical game. If they can withstand the physicality, if they can shoot the ball well, they're pretty tough to beat, but they have to contain a lot of penetration from Blackhawk, and it'll be an interesting matchup. I know on a Saturday we're going to have a lot of Juda people over watching.
Well, all right, that'll be a great one here tonight. Curt Brown, head coach of the Juda